Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For those of you new to this channel is all about CDP, web analytics and customer analytics space. So today's topic is Google Analytics 4 migration. So we are going to discuss the key highlights of GA4 versus UA and the best practices for implementation. Guys, we are going to talk about tips that you wouldn't find on any blogs or public documentation by Google. This is my own experience that I have shared with you guys here. So hop on, everyone. So let's talk about the differentiating features between GA4 and Universal Analytics. The first one is your measurement model. Now, in case of GA4, it's based on events. In case of UA, it is based on sessions. Event-based model, it is basically you have everything as an event. Page view is an event, login is an event, sign up is an event. Now, with an event, you will have an event name. So for login, you have the event name as login, and then you will have some custom parameters, right? So in case of page view event, page name is your custom parameter. In the case of download event, any file that is downloaded, that file downloaded name becomes your custom parameter. So that is how it works. The next one is website plus app in a single property. So now the structure looks like that you have an account, right? And then you have multiple properties within the account, but each property is made up of various data streams. Now, data stream could be one data stream could be coming from your website, one data stream could be coming from your app. Now, you could have separate data streams for your iOS and Android, right? So that is how it works. You only have one reporting view, but how you differentiate is based on data streams. The next one is enhanced measurement. Now with enhanced measurement, if you turn it on, a lot of things get tracked automatically just with your configuration tag. So for example, videos, then you have outbound clicks, scrolls, and so on. But the thing here is that you need to ensure that that particular feature is working as per what you want, right? So I would suggest that you go ahead, you may turn it on, just test it, whether it's working as per your requirements, and then only go ahead with it. Otherwise, probably you would have to write some tags and all to configure those particular features like video engagement and all based on your requirements. The next one is e-commerce tracking, very important. So you would find a lot of tags, a lot of documentation around e-commerce tracking that you can refer, which is publicly available. But I would recommend two of them. One is the GA4 documentation for e-commerce tracking. They have provided the entire recommended schema and all. Please go through that. And then there is one more article by Simon Ahava blog. I would provide the link in the description. That is also a very good article when you want to do e-commerce tracking, you want to migrate from UA to GA4, or you want to do a fresh setup. Either ways, those two articles are completely must to go through before attempting this. Then GA4 schema, yes, it's already there as I mentioned. So you need to go through it and then accordingly configure your tags, variables and everything based on that. Items array. Now items array is just like your product array. All the products that you bought, it will be a array of all those product related details, right? Now with items array, there are a lot of things that you need to take care of, like item ID or item name is always required, right? So those kind of things you will find in these documentations, but you need to take care of them. One, and you must be absolutely aware of all those pieces. that are there when it comes to items array or GA4 schema. Now, checkout funnel. So you used to have a lot of steps in your checkout funnel. Whatever number of steps you had, you could implement the e-commerce tracking for those steps. Now, what they have done is that they have some popular checkout steps, and they have given the schema for those steps. So you have begin checkout, you have add shipping info, add payment info, purchase, refund. So those kind of that is how their funnel looks like. So it's a very restricted list, right? Now product scope. So now they don't have yet available the product scope. So that is one important piece. And then there is they have already given you the default dimensions for all your e-commerce tracking, but there are some dimensions still missing, some dimensions or metrics still missing, like one of them is item variant. So a lot of businesses are tracking that piece, but they don't have a dimension yet available in the reporting for this, as well as they don't have product scope, so it becomes absolutely not viewable in the GA4 interface. It is available in the BigQuery export, but in the GA4 interface, you won't find data for this particular dimension. Then next one is scope. So as I said, you only have two scope, event and user, right? These are the only two scope. Then there is reporting interface. Reporting interface, you have a couple of new reports, new default reports that you will find. Some of the old reports and the structure that you found before is not available now. And then there is exploration report. So that is a very good feature which I liked very much. You have a drag and drop facility, and you can do a lot of analysis. You can drop whatever segments, dimensions, metrics you want and explore it, analyze however you want. It's a very good feature. Try it out. It really helps. BigQuery integration. So previously, you in Universal Analytics with only premium accounts, you had this feature. Now it's available for free accounts as well. Then there is goals. Now goals is labeled as conversions, right? And then you have some of the features which are not yet supported. Calculated metrics is one big one that I would say that I really miss in Universal Analytics. Then channel grouping, customization, custom task, views is another important one. And then you have filters. Now filters are only supported for IP addresses. I think this is also one feature that you may miss, but that is how it is. So let's look forward to the next view where we talk about the different guidelines or best practices for implementation. So now the first one that we have here in the best practices is that we collect data at the stream level, which enables tracking website and mobile apps within a single property. So I think we talked about this concept in the previous slide. So it's just the same concept here. Let's move on to the next one. So how do we do the right strategy for events, custom dimensions, and metrics? The basic idea here is that within the config tag, you have a fields to set, and you can put in those parameters like tracking ID, user ID, and so on that need to remain consistent across all the events. Then in the config tag, you should capture page specific parameters, right? In the event tag, you should capture event specific parameters, right? So that is the whole idea. Whatever you think will change at an event scope, you should add it in the event tag, like query parameters, right? And whatever you think should remain consistent, that you should have in the config tag. So that is the whole idea. Then the next thing is that you should have parallel tracking with your universal analytics setup, so you can identify if there are any issues and so on and forth, but you have that kind of setup. The next thing, which is a very important one, that you do not have session scope yet available, right? So what we are doing is that we are implementing event scope for all the existing custom dimensions with a session or a hit scope, right? And then you also have user scope available. So with properties like user ID, it's user scope, right? So that's the whole idea. You would also have some kind of other parameters that could have a user scope, but it all depends upon each individual client. The next one is that as a general rule, we are all enabling the Google signals and the ads personalization, but it can vary from client to client. The next one is conversions. So you have to define conversions. Previously, you used to have goals, but now you have conversions. So you define it for any e-commerce events like purchase or any other call to action items. It could be sign up as well. It depends upon the goals that you have defined for your business, right? So that's one thing. Then the next one is, which is also a very key feature of GA4, that you have the default IP and organization available with GA4, so you don't have to do anything else. The next one is user ID implementation for the visitor. This is very important. You should, as a business, implement the user IDs and then pass them on to GA4, right? And the last one is data export to BigQuery. So now it's available for free accounts as well. And it's super important because the retention period is only 14 months, right? We have already talked about the data stream concept. So now we are going to walk through the interface here, right? So as you can see in the first screenshot, we have this option for enhanced measurement. So I have just turned it on for page views. Why? Because in my case, I didn't find it useful for the other events. They were not working as per my requirement, right? The next two options you see are for event customization, modify events, and create custom events. The last option that you see here in the screenshot is for API secrets. So if you want to create an API secret for your measurement protocol, this is where you go. The other three options, the first one is on settings, which is absolutely critical. And the other two are some other options that you can go through. I would walk you through the settings option. Now in settings, we have this manage automatic event detection, configure your domains, include user provided data from your website, collect universal analytics events, define internal traffic, list unwanted referrals, adjust session timeout, and override cookie settings. Now in these, I think configure your domains is a very important one for the perspective of cross-domain measurement, right? And then you have some other options of which are very important, which most of us are going to use. One is define internal traffic. So this is the option that is basically your filters for IP addresses. The second one, the list unwanted referrals. So if you want to remove some referrals and all, this is the piece. And then the next one is adjust session timeout. Obviously, it is understood from the name itself. And then you have the override cookie settings. So I think these four options are very important. And when you open this configure tag settings, the first three options are only listed. The later ones are not like you have to click a link, show all, and then it shows all these options. So in general, it becomes hard to find these options and you are lost. Where are these options? How do I do this? So I thought we would walk you through the interface to give you an idea of where you can find these options. So that's about the best practices and how you can migrate from UA to GA4, my experience that I've shared with you guys. So guys, hit the like and share button, hit the subscribe button, and mention in the comment section your experience on migrating from UA to GA4 so that the community can benefit from this. Thank you.